Okay, everyone, it's time to start. Thank you for coming on time. I really appreciate that you came to the class, Saul, Marilyn, Juan. Thank you for being here. How are you?
I'm fine. Uh, I had a great day.
Okay, that's something good. So what about you, Saul, Juan? Well, Omar and Javier are still connecting, but what about you, Saul and Juan? How was your day?
Well, good evening, good afternoon, sorry.
Oh, evening.
Good evening. Okay. My day this was tired. I visit. I had flu. I had a little problem with my car. I don't know what I say, manguera. The manguera is broken. Y almost I quedar aventado en la calle. But
So I got a
I
stock, maybe?
yeah, maybe. But I don't know. I go to the house and now here.
Okay, well, I'm really sorry, Saul, because it was a tough day, but I really appreciate that you came to the class, okay? That's something really good. Thank you for coming. I hope you can relax after classes and also you can feel better tomorrow morning. What about you, Juan? How are you?
I'm good. I'm really good.
Okay, that's something nice to hear. Thank you for sharing. Was it a busy day or it was relaxed?
A busy day. It was a busy day because well, uh, I have to go to the Santa Tecla uh, because I have to. My mother has a medical date, so as you know, in San Salvador, uh, always there is a big traffic. Well, so I was in traffic for around 3 hours. Well, and I came here around 2 p.m. I just ate a little bit, and then I went to the mall to buy things for my house. And a couple of minutes, well, I came here. Well, I came to my house. Well, and and all this happened today.
Okay, well, as I could hear, Juan, it was a busy day. You did many things during the day, and also, well, being in traffic, I know that it's really difficult, but well, I also appreciate that you came to our class. That's something nice. Now, Omar and Javier, how are you today?
Hello, teacher. I'm great. Was a busy day, and in the morning I went to the gym. Then I went to the work, and, and a busy day, but that's productive. So I'm because here. Anyway, and let's do it.
Okay, Omar, that's something good. Okay, well, I could see that it was also a busy day, but we are over here. That's pretty nice. And you, Javier?
Hi, teacher. Good evening.
Good evening.
Well, I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
Okay, you're welcome. Let's see. Okay. everybody, after, well, after this, after asking you about this, we will start our class. Everybody, let me right now just share my screen with you so then we can start. Dun-dun. Okay, good. Let me see. Well, everybody, as you remember, in this unit, in these last classes, we've been talking about how to make a presentation, some phrases to start your presentation, and things that are really important at the moment of speaking in front of public or a lot of people, okay? In this opportunity, guys, to start the class, let me ask you, who's a great speaker you admire? Okay, remember that when we started talking about presentations and all those kind of stuffs, I told you what was the common things that Hitler, Martin Luther King, and also Oprah had. What was the thing they had in common? The thing they had in common was that they were great speakers, okay? They could present, they could share a speech with the public, and none of them were persuaded by their words. Now, everybody, I don't know if you have any other person that you admire and you say when this person speak, he's very well. He does it in a very in a great way, or she does it in a great way. Okay, I want to hear to your opinions. So let's start with Madeline. Madeline, tell me, who's a great speaker you admire?
Eh, to tell you the truth, I had a lot of them
Okay.
to refer, but maybe one that's actually alive might be Simon Sinek. He speaks about how people should live without being too around technology.
Okay.
That he speaks a lot of, right now he speaks a lot of how the humanity has forgotten that part, the human part, because of all the technology. And we forgot the family, we forgot the friends, because we are always in the cell phones, in the internet, in the computers. And he speaks a lot about how life can be more easy if we can approach without being so inner mind, with all that it's futuristic.
Okay. Well, though that's an important and very relevant topic that he speak about, and it's pretty nice. Is there something you think that he has that any other speaker have, or something that you can say, okay, as you mentioned, you like I could say a long list of great speakers.
Yeah,
Can you tell me about one characteristic that you can see in all of them?
that they can put themselves in the shoes of the needed, so they can speak exactly what the needed people feel.
Okay, That's something great. And thank you for sharing about that that detail that it's important, okay? Thank you, Marilyn. Now let's continue with another person. Let's see Javier's opinion. Javier, who's a great speaker you admire?
Yes, teacher. Well, in my opinion, well, I am a Christian, and in the Christian movement, I admire Dante Gebel. He
Okay.
is a great preacher. I think he explains very well, and he has a great congregation.
Okay.
Well, that's it.
Okay, that's nice. Okay, that's a good description of this speaker, and I already know about him. But I have a question. What does he have that you think makes him a great speaker?
Sorry, teacher.
What
Can you repeat
makes
again?
him what makes him or what helps him to be a great speaker?
Okay, let me think. Well, for example, he fills stadiums with a lot of people, Christian or friends, and the people got the message when he prays, for example.
Okay, well, that's something good. Well, I could say, or I could mention about him that he is a great speaker, or one characteristic that he has is that he's very friendly at the moment of talking. Even though he is a preacher, as Javier says, he's very friendly at the moment of speaking about any topic he wants to explain, okay? Or he's explaining. Even he uses many stories to make his speeches more, we could say more sensitive or with people, okay? That's nice. Thank you, Javier. Let's listen to one more person. Maybe we will continue with Saul, okay? Saul, tell me, who's a great speaker you admire?
Hello. Well, admire. Mm, I thinking. Uh, I think. Really, I don't have a interesting person. I don't know. Maybe I don't have one, but I think
Okay.
maybe I admire that person that can make something extraordinary. Extraordinary, for example, Steve Jobs, that did a lot of things. For example, only with her mind and her objectives make a big company. Uh, he never did something about computer, but he has spoke a lot of interview by others and found the Apple.
Okay,
That's
that's
X1.
continue.
That is one, and maybe the other is the Pope. uh, because had a good uh, a lot of I don't want to say I don't know what to say estudios uh, but
Studies.
I thinking he's speak when he speak or uh, he speak with a lot of with much I don't want to say sabiduría.
Wisdom.
Yeah, that person I thinking I admire.
Okay, that's nice. I really want to take from what you said that Steve Jobs, even though he is recognized because he started with Apple's company, he is also a great speaker because when he presented about cell phones, about the iPhone, actually, about the iPhone and all the things that are part of the of Apple's company, he always expressed more than just a cell phone. Remember that it was a company, but he expressed more than just buying a cell phone or having the experience to have a different cell phone, because it is a different cell phone. iPhone, it's a different cell phone. But he tried to also have empathy with people and sympathize with all of them. Okay, that's what you have to look for in your presentation. As you remember, guys, yesterday I told you that on Thursday we're going to have our final speaking practices. Okay, these are not evaluations, but these are speaking practice to check and use all what we have learned during this level. Okay, that's why, everybody, it is important to study this, to study and talk about these important people and important things that we have over here. Right now, everybody, let me show you our topic in this opportunity. As you remember, guys, we already talked about how to start with your presentation, what is important to show in your presentation when you speak, and also in your visual aids. Now, everybody, it's time to finish our presentation, okay? So let's move, everybody, to effective ways of closing a presentation. In this opportunity, guys, we will have some phrases, some common phrases that can help us to finish with our presentation, okay? And they will be very important, guys, because we will have to use some of them. Not all, but at least some of these areas will be important for you at the moment of creating and presenting your work, okay? In this opportunity, guys, I have divided these closing phrases into seven categories or 7 groups. As well, I won't read them. I want to listen to Omar. Can you read them, Omar?
Of course, teacher. How to close your presentation. Signaling the end, summarizing, concluding, final recommendations, support, closing, and the last one, inviting questions.
Great pronunciation, Omar. That's nice. As you can see, these are 7 groups or 7 categories in which you can divide the close of your presentation. As I mentioned, in our next speaking practice, we won't have the opportunity to use all of them or to apply all of them. We will see why during the class, okay? I will tell you which of them we won't be able to use. I also can tell you guys that, in my opinion, summarizing and concluding, guys, can be taken as one group, even though they are not the same, but they are close in meaning, or close in phrases or in context. Summarizing, remember that it's taking all the points or all the main points that you mentioned during your presentation and repeat the main idea again, but paraphrasing. In the conclusion, guys, that's why I tell you that maybe we can link or we can make these two categories into one. It's that when you conclude, you need to give your final idea or your objective of the whole presentation, right? So if you started talking about music, at the end, the purpose of your presentation is this one, okay? Or through this presentation, I hope you feel the same way I feel when I listen to music, okay? So it is kind of the objective, but mostly, guys, apart from seeing or learning or repeating your objective, it's part of looking at people if they or if you reach the goal of your presentation, okay? Now, let's move everybody to some phrases and let's move category by category. Right now, everybody, let's go to signaling. Okay, great, Omar, that's nice. Okay, so today, guys, we have signaling the end, okay? As you remember, guys, we have some phrases to signal each part of your presentation. One sequencer or one adverb of sequence that we can use in this part, everybody, is finally. You know that whenever we use finally, guys, we are about to finish with our presentation. Then, guys, we have these important phrases that can also be used when we are about to finish. Juan, can you read the expressions, please?
Okay, that brings me to the end of my presentation. Right, that covered everything I wanted to say about. So that's all I have to say.
Very good. Remember, this is just the first category or the first group of phrases that we are going to study in this opportunity. These are some phrases, guys, when you already mentioned the important information you needed to say, well, we can use these expressions to start closing the whole idea or the body of our presentation. Remember, if you're talking about a specific topic, you have a main idea, but then you have to mention 3 or 4 topics that are related to your main idea. Then, guys, when you are in the 4th topic, this is the last one. So then, everybody, you need to start using these phrases because you already mentioned the whole information about your topic. So that's all I have to say. Let's continue. Okay, as I said before, everybody, the next step or the next thing we have to take into account is summarizing your presentation. Okay, let's see. Can you read these expressions, Saul? Hi, Saul.
To sum out then, in brief, before I finish, let me just go over. If I can briefly summarize.
Okay, if I can briefly summarize, then everybody, after that phrase, you know that you need to start mentioning the main ideas of your presentation, okay? You can paraphrase these main ideas, everybody, to avoid repeating and being that making your presentation more or a little bit boring, okay? Then you paraphrase your ideas, and then you have to make the conclusion. But in this case, you can see that there are many expressions that we can use and that they can help us to summarize the whole idea of our presentation. After that, guys, something that is related, it's the conclusion. So to conclude, everybody, what are the phrases we can use, Omar?
Yes. For concluding, to conclude, I'd like to say that I'd like to finish by saying, in conclusion.
Nice. The most common in conclusion, right? But then we have other phrases that can help us to make our conclusion. As you can see, guys, I'd like to finish by saying, maybe, guys, in this part, we can use like phrases that help us to make people feel or understand the goal of our presentation. What we tried during the whole presentation, just remark that on your conclusion, okay? That can help you a lot, everybody, and it can show you how you have to finish with your presentations, okay? Don't stop during your presentation, okay? So you are mentioning all the topics and all the ideas that you got ready, but then everybody, in the moment you finish saying all the things you prepared before, then you keep in silence and stay like this. I finish. So that's not a phrase to finish, guys, okay? In this case, we need to use some specific phrases that help us to make people understand we finish. But if you stay like this, in silent, maybe you forgot what you were about to say. Maybe you didn't get ready and you didn't practice how to finish your presentation, which is something very common. Okay, don't worry about that. But right now, guys, that's why we are practicing and we are learning phrases to avoid that. Okay. Then everybody, maybe in some cases we have the opportunity to, well, I don't know everybody, but we have the opportunity to ask, or well, in this case, wait for questions. But if we don't use a phrase to finish or to show people that we are concluding our presentation, then it will be kind of weird and it will affect the purpose of our presentation. So let's try to use these phrases. Then everybody, we have another important thing, and it's about the final recommendations. Maybe, guys, if you study in well, all of us studied in high school, I guess, but this is something important we have to remember, guys. When you make your thesis, you have to create well, the same conclusion and then final recommendations. In the recommendations, guys, as you see, you recommend important things related to the topic. Remember, if you're talking about history, well, tell people to read history because this is your recommendation. Read your history, read about history in your country or read about history in your city and avoid repeating that story, okay? That could be a recommendation, but that's not my topic and nor your topic. So let's move and read this. Marilyn, can you help us reading?
Yes. Final recommendations. It seems to me, then, that we should. I would therefore recommend I advise that.
Thank you. As you can see, we are using, well, a modal verb that is always used for recommendations, suggestions, advice. And this is, everybody, the use of should, okay? Whenever we use should, of course, we're talking about recommendations, suggestions, or advice. And then, everybody, in the next part, we have two verbs, recommend and advise, okay? We use these phrases, guys, to give recommendations about our topic, related to our topic, and it's also related to our conclusion. If you mention, guys, feel the music because the music is a part of our lives, then in the recommendations, guys, I would therefore recommend to listen to music at least 30 minutes during the day. If you listen to music, even if you listen to music, guys, after you wake up and get up, it will help you a lot with your attitude and in your feelings. It will affect your feelings. Okay. So then, everybody, you can give your recommendations. Okay, related to that topic. This is something important, guys, I wanted to say, and it's because it's not common that we use them in presentations, but it's possible. That's why, everybody, if we don't recommend anything at the end of our presentation on Thursday, don't worry, there is no problem, guys. Sometimes it's possible, in some cases it's not even necessary. Okay, let's move on. Okay, our next step, everybody, to take into account is support. How can you support your, give me a second, guys. Oh, yeah. Okay. In support, everybody, maybe well, this is something we won't do during our presentations, guys, because, well, you will see the phrases and then I will explain to you. Please, well, I will listen to Juan. Juan, can you help me reading about support?
I have prepared an handout which I will pass around. I will give you my email address in case you want to up on something said.
Okay, thank you, Juan, for reading. Let me ask you guys, what is the meaning of handout? Or what is an example of a handout? What do you think? Let's see, Marilyn, what is a handout?
A flyer?
Okay, very good. A handout, everybody, could be a flyer, could be some images or posters that are related to our presentation. Even infographies can be a great, well, the infographics can be also a great handout that you can use. Okay, so if you give this material to people, or even if you prepare all what you have said, or not what you said, but important information about the topic you present, if you give them pages with this information, it will also help you a lot, or it will also make people understand and understand your topic and also have more ideas about that. That's why this part of the presentation is support, because you are trying to help people understand the topic a little bit more, or even more than they have done. Okay, another important option that you have. I will give you my email address in case you want to follow up on something said. Okay, we use this phrase, everybody, if you think that it's a great idea to share or to continue or to continue with a follow-up with your audience. if they need to clarify something about what you said, or if you think that it's a great idea to keep a conversation with them, talking about this topic, and maybe sharing information each other, because maybe you know the information you investigated about a topic. But then, guys, in some cases, people also have their opinions, have information about our topic. And it can also help us to improve our presentation. You don't know, everybody, how many times we are going to present, or we are going to have the same presentation with different audience. But I will invite you, everybody, to, okay, think about using these two strategies. Handouts are helpful. They are really helpful, but it depends on you guys. If you want to give extra material to people that assist to your speech, to your meeting, or something that you have prepared, then everybody, think twice if you want to share your email with other people, because it is more for professional environments, or for professional purposes, but it can also help you to keep in contact with your audience or with the public. Okay, as I said before, we want to use these strategies, or at least this strategy, during our presentations in the class. First of all, because we won't be in the same classroom, or we won't be in the same place. All of you will be at home. It means, everybody, that you won't be able to prepare handouts and give them to all of your classmates. Maybe I could say that it's possible to make handouts, but if you create a Word document related to your topic, and then you send it on the Zoom chat. If you send it to the Zoom chat, you can say to your classmates, well, I have prepared a handout, and I will pass it around the WhatsApp, I'm really sorry, the Zoom chat. Okay, and then all of your classmates that came to the class have it, because you pass it. Okay, you pass it through the Zoom chat. And then, everybody, I want to recommend you to give your email, just because we won't continue talking about that. Or I don't know if you want to continue, but in case you don't want to continue, don't use it, guys. Okay, don't use this phrase. Let's move, everybody. Okay, these are the last parts of your presentation, and I want to listen to Javier reading to them. Can you help me, Javier? Oh, maybe Javier is having. Oh, yeah, Javier is here.
Yes, sorry.
Okay.
Okay, closing. Thank you for listening so attentively. Thank you for your attention. I hope that this has been useful.
Okay, thank you for reading.
The
This
end.
is something, guys, I really need you to use, okay? I need you to close your presentation. As I said before in today's class, in some cases, we finish expressing or explaining a topic, and then we keep in silence. And our final sentence was, I finish. Or in some cases, we say, that's it. Okay? But remember, guys, always show always show yourself as a grateful person. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for coming to this class. Thank you for anything you want to thank people, okay? But please thank people. Be grateful. Be thankful, everybody. use these expressions, okay? And it will show the teacher, your boss, or your coworkers or classmates that you are just finishing, your presentation, okay? Try to use these phrases that will help you to close your presentation. And the last part, guys, that is also important is the next one. Inviting questions. Okay, everybody, pay attention to Omar. Can you help me reading, Omar?
Yes, teacher. Invited questions. I'd be glad to answer any questions. So, do you have any questions? Are there any questions? Yes, the gentleman lady sitting there.
Very good. These phrases that we have over here, I consider that we have already studied them, or at least some of them. As you know, everybody, I told you when we were studying our presentation, it is possible for you to clarify the moment of questions. If you want to leave questions, if you want to leave questions until the end of your presentations, well, after you said, thank you for your attention, it's time for questions, okay? I'd be glad to answer any questions. Do you have any questions? Are there any questions? Okay, so we can just use these expressions, guys, even though some of them are kind of famous or kind of common. But guys, we can use this at the end, okay? At the end of our presentation. Also, guys, I told you, you can give a short space of questions during the middle of your presentation. Okay, but you need to clarify that at the beginning of your presentation. That's something really, really important. Okay, try to clarify that at the beginning of your presentation. Also, the other option is, if you have any question, feel free to interrupt me. Okay, that was another phrase that we studied. Okay, imagine it can be at the beginning. If someone needs to interrupt you because of a question, so it can be at the beginning, it can be in the middle, it can be at the end. It doesn't matter, guys. Actually, you need to be ready for questions during your whole presentation, but try to clarify which will be the moment to ask questions. Okay, this is the last part, everybody, that we needed to study. As I told you guys, let me show you all the topics, all the categories together. As I told you guys, maybe the most important things that we need to use are, first of all, signally the end, okay? For your presentation, for your final speaking practice, everybody, please give signals. What's the moment to finish, or when are you going to finish? Then, guys, summarizing and concluding, it will be also necessary, but it can be really short, okay? Remember that our presentation won't be that long. Maybe, guys, we will just talk 4 minutes, okay? So all of you will have 4 minutes to present your topic, and that's it, okay? Then we will leave final recommendations by now aside. We will leave the final recommendations aside, everybody, because in this case, I won't expect you give final recommendations. I only expect you you present a topic, the topic you want, and then everybody you continue with the next steps. Also, guys, another important thing is to support your ideas. It's not mandatory, it's optional if you want to support with any extra material, but if you don't use it, there is no problem, guys, okay? You can do it when you give a speech on site, in front, face to face with people, okay? Another important thing that I really need you to use is the closing. Okay, everybody, use a closing. As I told you, if you say, thank you for your attention or thank you for listening attentively, that would be great. I won't ask you to use more expressions or more phrases. It won't be that long. And depending on how you have prepared your presentation, you can ask them to, well, you can invite them to ask questions. But if not, everybody, it's not mandatory, okay? Just in case, this is also part of you, the way you prepare your presentation. But if not, don't use it, okay? The most important things are signaling the end, summarizing and concluding, and the closing, okay? Then the others, apart from final recommendations, don't use final recommendations, okay? Under any circumstance, don't use final recommendations, at least by now. But please, everybody, try to use the support and inviting questions, as I said, depending on the way you prepare your presentation, okay? Do you have any question about these important things or these phrases we have studied, everybody?
No, teacher, for me, all clear.
Okay.
Just, I think a little problem. I think in this unit, uh, the unit have a lot of polite vocabulary, so it's difficult because I don't know. I was studied English, but not not more polite than this unit. But I think these are very important because the polite form is the correct way.
Yeah, remember that the point of your presentations is to make understandable presentations, but also kind of professional, okay? The thing is, more than being polite, it's to be professional, okay? Remember, this is what we expect from you, okay? So I hope it can help you, even though some phrases are not that polite, okay? Or some phrases are not that 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 technique, or they are not very um well, polite. I could say that they are polite, even though some of them are not that polite, because imagine the inviting questions phrases are, do you have any question? And that's a common phrase. Or even, are there any questions? Those are common phrases that we use, okay? So at the end, everybody, even though they are common, they are also helpful, okay? So that's why, everybody, I hope you create great presentations. Tomorrow we have the final class, and then on Thursday we have our presentations, our final presentations. So I hope I can listen to all of your presentations. Remember, you can create your visual aids in PowerPoint, Canva, or any other app, okay, or website. But please try to work on it. Just before we go, everybody, let me invite you to continue working on the platform. I just check your results, everybody. What is the progress or the percentage of progress you have? Some of you have a 100%. I really congratulate you, because you have a 100% and you already have your certificate or diploma, okay? But if you don't have it, everybody, please keep working on the platform to keep or to continue studying English or practicing English in the next level, okay? Remember, that is something important we have to do, okay? So please work on the platform. If by now, but August 15th, you have more than 80%, let me tell you that you have a good progress. More 80% or more. But if you have less than 80%, everybody, worry about it, because we need to finish with the whole with the whole level in here in the classes and also on the platform. Okay, so try to work on it. And guys, it was great to have you here in our class today. I hope to see you tomorrow and have a good night.
Bye.
Teacher,
Yes, Omar.
yeah, sorry. So I really need you made me a favor. Please, could you send the 3 or 4 last presentation in the WhatsApp group, please? Because I need read the
about
yes, because I need
presentations,
read
right?
the presentation.
Okay, yeah, but about
The last.
okay, about making a presentation, right?
Okay, thank you, teacher.
You're welcome.